This is Ross Feingold on Taiwan Hashtag, coming to you from Taipei, Taiwan, hosted by Storm Media Group. Today we're joined by a very special guest, Democratic Progressive Party legislator and Twitter user extraordinaire in English, Wang Ting-yu. Legislator Wang, welcome to the show.
That's me. It's my honor to be here. I try to use my limited language power to explain something complicated.
Well, the truth is we send out a lot of invitations to legislators, and very few of them are willing to accept. So you're brave enough to accept. We thank you. And you know what? Very few, no Kuomintang legislators have accepted the invitation yet. So they might be scared of something that the DPP are not scared of.
You should let me know this ahead. Maybe I will have my lunch now.
Legislator Wang, you represent Tainan, and you're running for re-election in a district in Tainan, and our viewers might be very interested to know that just like in other countries, including the US, sometimes there's something that in English we call redistricting, where the lines of districts get redrawn. So last time you won by a tremendous amount. So the voters in that district in Tainan, they love you, but the lines have been redrawn. So tell us about your new district and why you're going to win re-election in the new district.
Our system is a district legislator, or you can parliament, congressman, something like that. And because my district, my neighborhood, we develop pretty good. So our population increased more than 100,000. So we need to divide my district into two. Mm-hmm. So what I represent now become 2 seats in my district. So I choose one of my old districts. So my population going down and melting into some new neighborhood into my district. So that's quite a little bit difficult to me. Last time I got a lot of votes. To me, it's not victory. To me, it's a kind of pressure. I need to remember each vote, each expect. Some people vote you one job. Some people vote you want education system reform. Some people vote you want you to be on their side. So we need to value each vote. So last time I get the highest vote in my country. To me, it's a very highly pressure to me. I work every day. I never take one day off. So this time I'm running my district. I regard them as a total new, and I'm facing a very powerful challenge from opposite party. So when I sit here, that means I value your program. I'm supposed to be on the street, in my district, and shaking hands with my friends.
But how do you introduce yourself? You said it's some of the voters in the new district, they're new to you. They might not know you. So when you're in Tainan, in the district, in the constituency, and you're introducing yourself, you're asking people to vote for you, what do you tell them? Well, why should they vote for you?
2 things. First, the new district combined with my old district, I used to be the city councilman in that district. They are my old neighborhood. We are not totally strangers to each other. Secondly, as a legislator, I am a chairman of National Defense Committee. This committee including Intelligence Bureau, National Defense Department, and the Foreign Affairs, overseas citizens. And I am rewarded as the best legislator several times. I try to do my job better day after day. Secondly, as a district legislator, not only to make a nationwide law-making process, but also we need to design our district development. So I gain the green power, recycling industrial, and AI IoT into my district. And my President Tsai and the Prime Minister, they invest a lot of budget in my district, so offering good jobs, and we are building new schools, offering good educational system, and we invest a lot to connect these different elements. We build new roads. So my district, people know them as the highly developing neighborhood. So that's my duty, and that's what I'm doing to my district. So if you live in my neighborhood, you vote me, you are choosing a good public servant. I fulfill my obligation. I try to make my neighborhood better and better day after day. Although sometimes we make mistakes, so I'm reachable. All my supporters, all my voters, and even you don't vote me, you can find me easily. I have my office hour for my supporters. I let them talk me directly, try to get information from my people. Then we can be we're connected with my people. So vote me, you won't regret.
And traditionally, Tainan is perceived as being friendly to the DPP and less friendly to the Kuomintang Nationalist Party anyway, right? So your chances should be pretty good at re-election.
I need to be cautious because now to Taiwan, there is no certain area, pan blue or green friendly, no. It changes easily. For example, last year, Kaohsiung City, DPP as a ruling party at that city for 20 years, but we lost that city. That make Mayor Han, now Han Kuo-yu is running for the president. So using Kaohsiung as an example, I always share this experience to my staff, say, don't be too confident, be humble, because people, they don't owe you a vote. They vote for your performance. So if you are too confident about the votes, if you are lazy to fulfill your commitment, voters can change easily in 1 second. So in my neighborhood, the new melting into my old district, the new area, it's a little bit blue friendly, about 8%. And my old district, of course, I get more than 80% vote. So these two neighborhoods combined together, I think I regard them as zero support using that attitude. And my competitors, I always tell my staffs, value her because she is famous. She used to be the deputy, she's the vice speaker of the House. She used to be the chairwoman of the Kuomintang, the opposite party. She has more than 30 years experiences in legislative yuan. So she is, I respect her capability. I respect her. She is a strong competitor to me. So,
but you disagree with her politics.
Yeah, I don't share. I totally disagree her politics because she thinks Taiwan is part of China. She thinks Taiwan should cooperate with Beijing. Should follow Xi Jinping's will. I don't buy that, but that's her freedom. She has her own right to has those opinion, but I respect her experience. But I will debate for the difference completely. That's democracy.
And that gives us a chance to change over to a topic which you've been speaking about and tweeting about for many months, and that's Hong Kong. And you mentioned local elections in Taiwan a year ago when Han Kuo-yu was elected mayor, so that was a change. And we recently had an election in Hong Kong where the pro-government politicians lost very badly to the pro-democracy politicians. So why are you so interested in Hong Kong? You tweet a lot about it, you speak a lot about it. Why has this become an important issue for you as a legislator in Taiwan?
This is a good question. Not only me. You should ask why Taiwanese so attached with Hong Kong issues. You know, about our character, our language. In the world, there are only two places using these old traditional Chinese characters, Taiwan and Hong Kong. We are using the same characters. It's quite different with China. They are using simplified characters. Secondly, a lot of Hong Kong young people, they come to Taiwan to study in university. I studied at Cheng Kung University in Tainan. I have a lot of schoolmates, they are from Hong Kong. And we are watching the same soap opera. We are hearing the same pop music. We travel each other place a lot. So to Taiwanese people, Hong Kong is not a neighbor. It's like kind of families. So when we think we understand Hong Kong people, they don't talk about politics. They are, we always say they are economic animal. Making money is the most important. Don't care about the politics. Don't talk about human rights. Don't talk about freedom, democracy. That's the Hong Kong we know. That's the Hong Kong Xi Jinping know. So when June this year, Hong Kong young people, they standing on the street fighting for their problem. A lot of people in Taiwan, a lot of people in Beijing, they think only 1 week, 2 weeks will be finished. But we are wrong. Hong Kong people, I think they must be suffered for something. They standing on the street, got hit, got beat, got shot for 5 months. And their campus, their university gets surrounded, and those so-called policemen run inside, arrest those kids and beat them. And there are more than 2,500 young lives suicide, so-called suicide. So when we watch that, to Taiwan we have 3 different level of feeling. First, our friends, they are suffered. We worry about them. Second, Hong Kong is a showcase for Chinese communists. To show what? To show one country, two systems. And Hong Kong now demonstrates it's a totally failure. It's a totally lie. One country, you cannot put a democracy system under a dictator system. And the third level is Hong Kong people, they have strong economic connection with Taiwan. So if Hong Kong something goes wrong, Taiwan need to be well prepared for the economic impact. Secondly, once one country, two system, the showcase Chinese communists destroyed by its own hand. That means they won't use this showcase, this lure, try to seduce Taiwanese people. That means the problem across the strait between Taiwan and China will be direct. We need to be cautious for that.
But from that perspective, shouldn't you want things to go badly in Hong Kong so then you could say, well, we don't want any of that? I mean, if they implement democracy, then wouldn't China say, see, it works?
If they dare to implement the democracy on Hong Kong and let them vote, really vote. Now, you know, the local district vote, they just finished. The Hong Kong the people, they win 90% of seats, but it's local district. 立法局, they are lawmaking.
The legislative council.
So it's a fake democracy because Beijing can choose some, they don't need to be voted. They are certainly to be a legislator in that facility. So even you get 100% vote, you're still the minority. And the governor is nominated by Beijing. So if Beijing government, they dare to implement true, real democracy in Hong Kong, good, do that. Do that, then Guangdong will ask. Then Jiangxi will ask. Beijing will ask that. Do that. When you become a democratic country, try to invade Taiwan will be silly and a stupid movement. So we encourage our neighborhood to become a democratic country. But to Chinese communists, they won't do that. For me, sometimes I put some words on Twitter or my Facebook. It's struggling. When we say 加油 Hong Kong, we try to encouraging them. But they are paying the price.
Well, I've noticed on your Twitter, you've called the protesters at times, you've called them freedom fighters.
Yeah.
Now, can you explain why? Because some people say that they commit a lot of violence as well. It's not only the police.
Sometimes
the
they are
protesters have destroyed public facilities, the MTR, roads. They've thrown firebombs. So some people say, well, they're wrong too for using violent methods.
Now we need to observe the problem deeply. Generally, we don't support. Sometimes we criticize criminal attack policemen because policemen, they are carry out the law and protect people. But Hong Kong is different scenario. Hong Kong people, they have no tools, they have no weapons, they are forced to go to this far. So when you criticize, condemn some protesters' violent behaviors, you need to see what's going on within these 5 months, or what's going on since 1997, when Chinese government promise you can vote your governor directly within 10 years. That means 2007. But they don't fulfill their commitment. It's become a lie. Now they say, okay, well, let's extend 10 years later, 2017, 真普选, the real vote directly to choose, to select Hong Kong governor. No, they fail them again. So when they fail them again, they cannot get the right on the politics. They find their economy get controlled by China, and difficult to find job, even difficult to get a cure in hospital. A toothache, you need to register for 9 months to 17 months. It's ridiculous. So it's kind of social collapse. When your world collapsed, you want to protect it. You want to speak something, ask the governor, listen to you. But they don't listen to you. They are using policemen to arrest you, to beat you, to use tear gas to shut you up. Of course, some people will do something across the line of the law. Yeah, some violate the law. But I won't regard them as a criminal.
Even if they throw firebombs in the streets or...
Firebombs, sometimes there are two scenarios. We actually find some policemen pretend the protester to burn the car, to attack something. And some people, they are throw the firebomb. Why? If the government can listen to their voice a little bit, it won't happen. So, yeah, they violate law. Maybe they will go to jail. They will pay their price, but it cannot justify the governor, the Chinese communist, what they are doing and what they fail to commit their commitment. You can put those via the law to the jail, but the one control the resources, the one control the true power, they are abusing Hong Kong people. If you can condemn those people through the firebomb, you should condemn that, the one in charge and within such great power. You should condemn them 10 times, 100 times.
Well, you know, President Trump, and I'm an American, President Trump likes to say, my friend Xi Jinping. So will President Tsai, assuming she gets reelected, and it's looking very good, will we ever hear her say, my friend Xi Jinping, the way President Trump says, my friend Xi Jinping?
We hope everybody will be our friend. But friends has friends' behavior. Friends won't use his gun to aim you. Friends won't force you to become his family member. A true friend won't rob your property. So we regard China as our neighbor. We hope we can be friends. But now these friends, this neighbor, try to make our country become part of them. Want to change our way of life. That means we can have our right to choose, to vote. We have our own power to decide what's the future for Taiwan. They won't change that. We need to protect our 23 million people from that kind of threat. So China is not only our neighbor, they are threat to Taiwan. It is written in the law. And that kind of threat, not only in the diplomatic field, they try to isolate Taiwan from all kind of international organization, ICAO. It's about security. It's about aviation, Interpol, WHA, something like that. It's not so politics. It's about human rights, about health, about aviation, civil aviation safety. They all try to block Taiwan.
Well, they say Taiwan could come as an observer under
No,
Taiwan's delegation,
not
like
even,
they did during
not even a guest that they try to forbidden that unless you admit you are part of China. How can you ask your neighbor, say, okay, you can be my wife, you can be my husband, then you can allow to join the bowl, join the party? It's ridiculous.
But that raises an interesting question, since you are from the Democratic Progressive Party. The name of this country is still the Republic of China. The flag is still the Republic of China flag. So how could you say you're not part of China if the name of the country is Republic of China?
I can live with two China in the world. I can live with that because 23 million people. We have our own history background. For me, my mother and my mother's side, grandmother, grandfather, they are Aboriginal in Taiwan, and my mother's father, my grandpa, he used to be a Japanese because Taiwan is part of Japanese 50 years ago. My father come from China and come to Taiwan to learn how to cook. He's a chef. So he has his background from China. Now we all come to this island, just like United States, some Britain, some German, go to this new world, become a country. And at the background, the name of our country is Republic of China. But China always think the Beijing one. So we always say, 中华民国台湾, we are Republic of China, Taiwan. And we love to be called Taiwan because can distinguish from the other China. So your question is a good question. We need a new constitution. Maybe we can choose a good name, Formosa, something like that. But who can decide that? People, not a ruling party, not opposite party, and certainly not Beijing. Taiwanese people, we can choose our own constitution, our own system, our national flag, our country's name. But now it's not our top priority. For now, Taiwan need to strengthen our capability to defend ourselves. We need to enhance our economic development. We need to, when there are so many capitals move back to Taiwan from China, we need to diversify our investment, new southbound policy. All this try to make our country stronger, healthier. Then maybe one day there is a room, there is an atmosphere, can let these 23 million people decide what's our next? The flag, the song, or the name? But now it's not our priority. For now, the status quo is 23 million people live in this democratic, free country. It's named Republic of China, and when we go to the world, we love to be called Taiwan. And this China is not different with People Republic of China. It's a little bit complicated, so just call us Taiwan.
But in the United States now, there's a Senator Cruz. He's proposing new legislation to let your government use the symbols of the Republic of China in the United States. There are even people who say the U.S. should reestablish diplomatic relations with the Republic of China, not with Formosa or Taiwan. How do you feel about that? Should the U.S. welcome the symbols of the ROC back into the U.S.? Should it establish relations with the ROC?
For now, the symbol is there. So we appreciate Cruz or Rubio. A lot of friends in Capitol Hill, they help Taiwan a lot. And we as a Taiwanese, we know to protect our country, it's our own responsibility. But sometimes you get friends' help. We do appreciate that. But try to establish officially diplomatic relationship with Taiwan. No matter you choose the name ROC or ROC Common Taiwan, it's not so easy for now. And according to UN, People's Republic of China, they are using the seat of ROC in UN, United Nations. So it's complicated political problem. I don't want to spend too much time on that. But to establish a firm, good, close relationship between Taiwan and United States, it's not only necessary, it's crucial to Taiwan.
Well, in recent days, China said, because of the Hong Kong Human Rights and Democracy Act, no more U.S. Navy visits to Hong Kong. Yeah. And of course, people are going to say they should visit Taiwan. So, U.S. Navy to visit Kaohsiung, yes or no?
Yeah. As an independent country, we love to welcome our allies or our partners. But
I thought you'd say they should come to Tainan, not Kaohsiung.
Tainan, the port is not so wide. And
well, they could drop anchor offshore and take small boats in.
Oh, right? It's okay. We have a good view. They can come to see our Qimei Museum. But according to United States NDAA last year, they encouraging United Navy to visit our Tsoying military harbor. So it's on United States side NDAA. To Taiwan, the equipment, hardware, harbor, it's okay, no problem. Tsoying will be suitable for your warship. But it depends on United States decision, because when you are doing that, China, they will have their own response. And that kind of response, we need to calculate, because it's about the security. And for Taiwan, no matter what we are doing, we try to purchase good weapon to protect ourselves, because you are using your missile to aim us. They will protest. When we try to send in some high-rank officer to have some engagement with your military generals, they piss off. So when Beijing always be angry about Taiwan's movement, sometimes we don't need to calculate their idea. So there is an occasion I met several high-rank officers from China, Beijing. I told them, don't show your attitude, your anger on everything. Make it a little bit different range. Then we can try to engage each other. But for now, Hong Kong decide to they decide not allow United States Navy to enter their harbor to get some supplement, some entertainment. So United States Navy, they can choose Taiwan or stay in Okinawa. They have their own choice. But whenever our good friends, United States Navy, want to spend some good time in Taiwan, you are welcome, our friend.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and as we go into this election, a lot of conversation about China's meddling. Your party in the legislative UN, Taiwan's parliament, have proposed several recent laws. One was about Chinese agents, and it doesn't look like that law is going to pass. But then there's a new proposal about Chinese meddling. And some people say that this criminalizes what would normally be free speech. People from Taiwan attend conferences in China, and the Chinese people stand up and sing the national anthem, or they say Xi Jinping's great, and the Taiwanese people are in the room. It's not within their control. And these laws might criminalize that kind of activity. So are you going too far with this, or you have to do it because China's meddling is so serious?
We are trying to build a law system to protect our democracy. But the difficulty is you cannot damage the democracy itself. For example, I want to protect democracy is including the freedom of speech. So I cannot bully your freedom of speech to protect the freedom of speech. So the law is quite difficult for us. And somebody to try to connect the latest meddling law to the Chinese spy is totally wrong. For the past 3 years, I'm in charge of the law making process. We put 3 different levels. First, the criminal law. The past 20 years in Taiwan, there is no law to protect our country from Chinese spy. 0. Give you an example. There is a Taiwan military general betrayed our country, become Chinese communist spy, and got sentenced for sure. He still can get pension. That our taxpayers still need to pay money to him. It's ridiculous. He betrayed his country, but he's still allowed to get the pension. And before, when we are not majority, we try to fix the law. The ex-ruling party, Kuomintang, they say, KMT, they say, no, they don't allow you to touch that. So the past 3 years, we passed 3 different kind of level of law. First, criminal law. Crime law. The crime law, we make Chinese, Hong Kong, and Macau to be defined as a foreign threat. So Chinese spy can be sentenced by the crime law. That's normal. When you become a spy, you reveal, you steal our military information, our confidential information, yeah, we punish you. So that law has been completed. Second level is to develop organization for Chinese communists. Maybe you are not spy, but you develop organization for Chinese communists under their command. And the only purpose to develop this kind of organization is to demolish Taiwan, to destroy our government, to destroy this country. So we call it national security law. We finished that this year. And some mafia, gangsters, pretend become a party, political party. Some organization working for communists that pretending they are some kind of civil organization. So we fix the organization criminal law to offer our Justice Department can investigate if they are working for communists.
So it's okay to be a communist in Taiwan as long as you're not a communist directed by Beijing.
Yeah, you can have your own will, but you are working for them and damage our security. That will be break the law. But if working for them, but you didn't damage our law, that's a different scenario. And for now, we didn't pass the latest new law. Somebody say 反渗透法 or anti-meddling or some transparency about foreign agents, something like that. This law is about what? It's about to protect the democracy environment.
Am I going to get in trouble for talking about Taiwan politics under this law? Because I'm a foreigner.
Yeah.
Am I meddling?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you are now our enemy.
Thank you, legislator.
You are now our enemy. So I give you about this law. Now, in a society of democracy, there are some behavior we encourage you to do that. Lobby. Donate your money to the politician or party you like. Media. Or referendum vote. This behavior, this move, we encourage them to do that in a democracy society. But we don't want this kind of democracy behavior controlled, polluted by our enemy. For example, in Taiwan, we don't allow politicians to become a host of a media show or become a boss of a media. It's against our law because we need party, military, and politician. You cannot put your finger into media because media is the one to monitoring you, to balance you. If you control media and you become a politician, it's against the basic rule of democracy. Okay, if we forbidden that, can we allow our media get controlled by Beijing government? Certainly not. not only in Taiwan, in Australia, in United States, we won't allow that happen. So about this new law, we try to regulate this kind of democracy behaviors, not sponsored by our foreign threat, not be polluted by our foreign threat. So there are three important definitions. First, according to our law, our only threat is Chinese communist. So certainly you are not. You are from states, or you are from Italy. Don't worry about it. Not all foreigners are our threat. And secondly, this behavior sponsored or get command from our foreign threat. Third, you need to report honestly, otherwise you break the law. So this is not about a spy. This is try to protect Taiwan, this island, this democracy country. When we are doing this political behavior engagement, not controlled or polluted by our only threat, because Crimea showed a story. It will be very dangerous to Taiwan. Also in United States, if your information system, your lobby system, your political donation system get controlled by your major threat, ISIS or Russia, that would be dangerous for democratic society.
We've been talking with Legislator Wang Ting-yu from Tainan of the Democratic Progressive Party about safeguarding Taiwan's democracy, Hong Kong, and getting reelected in Tainan. Well, thank you, Legislator Wang. And if you're reelected, and of course we hope you are, you'll come back next year?
If I get reelected, I will bring the local food here.
Thank you very much. You've been watching Taiwan Hashtag with Ross Feingold, hosted by Storm Media.